Hey, what's going on, everybody? BDL44 coming at you with another video. All right, so we're talking about the Boston Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks game 4 tonight in Milwaukee. And, well, cut and dry, the Boston Celtics had a very anemic performance shooting the ball from Jason Tatum, particularly, and Marcus Smart was pretty bad as well. And it kind of shot them out of the game. You know, they only lost by 2 points, came down to a last second tip in situation that just wasn't enough. Some people believe that there was a 3 point shot that should have been given 3 free throws. It was instead given 2 in the closing moments of the game. Marcus Smart goes to the line, um, intentionally misses the one necessary to get the rebound, but just weren't able to tip it in time. And that's how the game ended. But it really was just throughout quarter 3 and 2, basically. Jason Tatum just not really able to get it going, shooting a lot of jump shots, and none of them really connecting on anything. Um, but you did see good performances defensively from them. You definitely appreciate what you saw out of Al Horford, who was really, really going off. Had a fantastic game. Um, Jaylen Brown had it going in the first half, and you just want to see tonight the Boston Celtics get it together offensively. You want to see Jason Tatum take better shots and hopefully get it going, just making shots in general. Um, and then on the other side of things, it's the Milwaukee Bucks continuing to clog the paint, creating that environment for them to have to shoot so many threes. It's working, and when Boston doesn't hit threes, Milwaukee's able to, just basically outscore them by having an immovable force. And Giannis Antetokounmpo go out there and just basically continue to drive it into their paint. So that's what we're seeing, and it's not changing. nothing is looking very hopeful in regards to the Boston Celtics stopping that. They're going to need guys like Al Horford, Robert Williams, Grant Williams to just continue to hold the line. That's really all you can do. When you're dealing with a player like Giannis, you just got to keep continuing to press the issue, force the issue, and make shots. That's really what it is. You can't give so much attention to the defensive side that you don't have anything to put on the offensive side of the ball. So that's going to be a challenge for the Boston Celtics. Play together, get other people involved, get the hand that's hot the ball particularly, and just more team ball, more assists. I want to see from this team. They're just not working together enough. It's too much my turn, your turn, reactionary stuff to the defense. They need to devise ways of getting some space created for themselves. I personally think they need to attack that wall in the paint. You got to get Brook Lopez out of there. You got to get Bobby Portis out of there so that you guys can have some wiggle room to do something other than shoot jumpers. They're forcing you to shoot them because you're not making them. And in order for you to get to a point where you're confident making shots, you're going to need to have some space in the paint in order for you to do that. You're going to need some people to be honest in there in order for those jump shots to be shots that you want to take. So it's one of those situations where the Bucks defense is controlling the series. That's what's happening here. The Bucks defense is controlling the series. Ime Udoka has to find something offensively because his defense is not enough. The defense is not stopping Giannis, and Giannis is doing what he has to do. Give Drew Holiday a lot of credit as well. He's been fantastic. He had a huge game in that previous game as well. And it's just one of those situations where it's like, okay, Milwaukee's home tonight. They're up 2-1. These are the champs, and they figured out something that works against you. So if you're expecting anything, you would expect them to come back and continue doing what they've been doing. But what you don't expect is for Jason Tatum to shoot as badly as he did. What you don't expect is for Marcus Smart to be as anemic as he was. But that's what it's about. It's just about getting balance back into this series. Boston's a fantastic defensive team. They should be able to be a good offensive team as well, but that has not been what we've seen. And if they're going to tie the series up, that's what's going to change. So that's pretty much it. I mean, I look at this series and I've enjoyed every second of it, to be honest with you. We're only through 3 games. All the other series are about to play game 5. This is the one lagging behind, but we've gotten some good games out of this series through 3 games. I want to see the Milwaukee Bucks get Grayson Allen more shots, him attempting 4 shots in the last game. That's a mistake. He was basically the guy that won the Bulls series. Him, of course, and Giannis. But the guy that really did made the difference was him. And to not really look for him in this series, I'd like to see them keep his confidence high and continue to get him the ball. I think he'll continue to help them if he's continuing to believe that he's a part of what y'all doing. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. Your bench is still a bit thin. And, I've liked what I saw out of Pat Connaughton. He's rebounding the ball well, bouncing back well from that elbow injury that he had in Game 2. But all in all, he's going to need some help out there in the bench. And they don't really use a lot of their bench, So it's working thus far. They're up 2-1, so it ain't really nothing to complain about necessarily. But as I said in the previous video, they only scored 99 points. Oh, no, that's a different way of going. But either way, that's a different series. But the point is, when you're not scoring as much, you do have to continue to put up more points on the board. And I think when it really comes down to it, this Bucks team could afford to score more themselves. That's what I know. Yes, you guys are playing great defense too. Luckily enough, the Boston Celtics aren't hitting any of their threes. I expect Grant Williams to have more than 2 threes tonight. I expect Jaylen Brown to hit threes tonight. I expect Jason Tatum to snap out of that slump. Peyton Pritchard's not been shooting very well. He's capable. So it's like you just can't count on the Boston Celtics being as anemic as they've been in this series for too much longer. So that's kind of how I look at this situation. Seen a lot of different types of phases in this series. I think it's now on Boston to react to what it is they just saw. But the problem is Udoka can only do so much. At the end of the day, Jason Tatum has to take better shots. And Marcus Smart, as aggressive as he is, him running hot and cold has always been a problem for the Boston Celtics. He can be somebody who hits a lot of shots for you, but he can also be somebody who goes 0 for 6, 1 for 7, 1 for 8. And when he does that, it can really hurt the team, especially if everybody else is off. So Marcus Smart is who he is. For me to sit up here and say, be more consistent on the offensive end, that's not his game. But as he continues to be a facilitator, I would just say that's where you'll make your money. Your efficiency is raised so long as you're facilitating properly and taking good shots. When he's jacking up early 3-point shots in the shot clock like he's a great shooter or something like that, that's when things go wrong for the Boston Celtics. Too many jump shots. I know Marcus Smart's a bit hurt right now, so that probably affects a lot of what's going on. And I think resting him is probably the smartest way to go for tonight. I'd rest him entirely. But if they decide to play him, just like Mark Jackson said from his day, if you're out there, you're fine. So playing smart is the way to go for the Boston Celtics. Upping the intellect, using your guys, and ultimately continuing to put an emphasis on rebounding the ball. Because the Milwaukee Bucks have definitely controlled that aspect of this series. And going up against Giannis Antetokounmpo, you'd expect it. But they're going to have to hit that glass harder. So that's what it is, man. I'm excited about this one. It's going to be a good matchup. I think the series is going 7. I told you I think it's going Boston's way at the end. But right now, Milwaukee feels like they're firmly in control. They've found something that works without Middleton. And as of right now, I don't have a whole lot to hang my hat on in regards to the Boston Celtics overcoming what it is in front of them. You gotta see guys play well on the road. That's really what it comes down to. Is the Boston Celtics gonna bounce back from an anemic performance in Game 4 and try to tie this series up so they have some momentum headed back to Boston instead of playing for their lives when they head back to Boston? So it's a big deal. I do believe that this Boston Celtics team coming into this series was the best team in the NBA. I don't like being wishy-washy, but I've seen a lot from other teams that make me think that that is still very much up for debate, including against the team they're going up against right now, Giannis and the Bucks. So continued good play from Jrue Holiday is key for the Bucks. Most definitely continued heavy hitting from Bobby Portis. Anytime they can get a good night from Bobby Portis, I pretty much penciled him in for a W. If he goes over, say, 25 points, it's night-night. So for whatever that's worth, keep an eye on him. And I like the Bucks tonight again. I do. I like the Bucks to go up in this series 3-1 tonight because of all of the momentum, because of what they found in their strategy, and because of how bad the Boston Celtics offense has been overall in this series, especially these last two games. It has not been as good as it needs to be. They need to find that come together. They need to find that. Derek White had a better game in that last game for the Celtics. If he can continue playing well, maybe step his game up even further from where he was in the last game, maybe he can have something to say about what happens tonight himself. But they're going to have to look for him, and he's going to have to deliver. So that he hasn't been consistent for these Celtics, but maybe he's trending upwards. Who knows? So that's what it is, man. That's what it is. Jason Tatum, tonight is about you, sir. You know, I put a lot of pressure on him in the last game on this channel, saying that I expected him to think of himself as somebody just as good as Giannis, and he went out there and had the worst playoff game of his life. Made me look real bad. So, I'm not a wishy-washy person. I still believe Jason Tatum's a fantastic player on both sides of the floor, but he's got a long way to go to become someone who has a good feel for when he should shoot jumpers and when he should look to move on from those jumpers. He's jacking them up. He's letting them fly, and it seemed like the worse the shot bricked, the worse the selection of the shot. So to me, that showed me that Jason Tatum still has some coaching that he needs to come his way. He's still got a lot of learning to do about how to win, and I have confidence in him. I do. I think he has a lot of natural talent. I think he's had some good coaching already, but he still has some things to learn about how to get the victory he's looking for. So playoffs are the best teacher, and I'm looking forward to seeing if he can apply what he learned in that last game and do some things better in this one. That's what I'm hopeful to see. So my eyes are on Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown can't slip. We need him to continue to play well, continue to be who he's been. Just because your teammate isn't necessarily on point doesn't mean you need to waver in anything that you're doing. I think Jalen's played great for the series, and I think Grant Williams has also played great in this series. They're going to need him to continue to be hot from behind the arc, and they're going to need him to continue to defend the way that he's been doing. I think he's doing a pretty good job on Giannis, but Giannis is Giannis, so what are you going to do? But, and also, Time Lord, Robert Williams, as well. They need him to continue to get healthier, because the healthier he is, the more dominant they are defensively. And if he was at 100% at his best conditioning, he would have a lot more to throw at Giannis when he's driving in that paint. I don't think getting to the rim is as easy when Robert Williams is 100%. So that is something that we're going to keep an eye on as well. Up and down the board, every player on each team basically is important, all the way to Carter, the defender on the Bucks. Everybody who's getting minutes, I'm expecting to see play their heart out. These are two teams with a lot of heart. So that's what it is, man. BDF 44. I hope everyone enjoys the game, and I'll get back to you on the others as well. Peace.